have children that have been diagnosed with ADHD. Both of my children have this. So ADHD is a syndrome of learning and behavior problems characterized by a combination of symptoms. These symptoms include inattention, hyperactivity, impatience, and impulsiveness. A lot of children in the school systems today have this. Some of the symptoms that I noticed with my children were they could not sit still. They would not pay attention. They just do not understand that they have to sit still and listen and learn. They had to have a little extra help. There's a lot of ways to diagnose ADHD. The biggest ones being questionnaires that are sent to the parents and the teachers. Most teachers are very happy to help you with this situation. They fill them out, and you take them back to the doctors, and then you have a conversation. The children have to meet criteria that is set in the Diagnostic Statistic Manual of Mental Disorders. This is a set guideline that doctors go by to diagnose the children. In most children, you can use alternative therapies other than medication. Some children that doesn't work. You have behavioral therapies, sensory challenges, and scheduling, diet. There's all sorts of different kinds. When those don't work, people have a real problem with turning to medications. That's an option we had to go to. Both of my children are on medications. When children are not medicated, they can experience all types of other issues, from being picked on at school. They become reckless. They can injure themselves. These types of activities can also harm other children. And when the other children see that this child is not acting right, they get picked on for being a troublemaker, which causes more problems for the child. So we had to resort to the medication. The medication these days are a lot more effective than in the older days. And a lot of people don't realize that medications are 75 to 80% effective in most cases. That's, after you've exhausted all other options, that medication is the most effective therapy. Up to 30% of children with ADHD is not receiving adequate therapies. That's a big number to me. 30% of children that's not getting to learn, it's a big number. So once you decide you have to go to the medication, there are a lot of things that you can consider. How bad is the child being treated at school? How behind is he getting? My child got really behind and suffered quite a bit with his grades. So most children do end up failing when they're not medicated because they can't learn. So when you do decide to medicate, the things to do would be to make sure you have a good evaluation with your doctors and your teachers. Everyone involved is always helpful. You need to consider the benefits. That child will be able to learn, to have a normal life. Most children don't. And then you have to consider how accurate is the information you have on the drugs that you're considering. A lot of these drugs you can say, well, this is a life-changing event, or not. Like a Vitatype is a side effect. Nicholas, my child, has experienced that. Well, once he's off the medication, it's normal. So it's not a life-changing side effect. So that's something to consider. And then just know that once you do put your children on medication, it's not the end of the line. You can always change that. It's always changeable. In the end, your child will benefit from being on the medication.
That was great.
It was.
That was